Hi, we are here as part of this little light of mine meditation as part of the work of a nonprofit organization called Living Peace Now, in which people from many countries are coming together to reflect on how to gain inner peace, how to be peacemakers in the world. And today's meditation topic is how to cope, how to deal with it when you feel as though someone has offended you or has not respected you. How do we get back to a sense of peace inside when this kind of thing has happened? So, first of all, let me just say a sentence about Living Peace Now, that we're a nonprofit. We're supported by our users and our participants who are peacemakers. And we appreciate any contributions which you can make at the donate button.
So every time we do a meditation, the reason we are asking countries after the meditation, we will just go there and put the countries from where people were attending.
What we envision is that by the time we're doing these meditations this summer, that this whole world map is going to light up. So we're counting on people to share, to invite friends, to expand the light and the light source with people in many different places. Oh, you're in Missouri. What? Okay, so before we start meditating, we ask people, and if you don't have it this time, we do have the candles on the screen that you saw, but we ask people to bring a candle, and we start the meditation by lighting the candle.
Rosa, would you like us to listen to the song before or after the meditation, the Little Light of Mine song?
Let's do it today after the meditation.
All right, okay.
Okay, so if you have a candle, it's time to light it. And we're going to ask everybody to hold up your candle, if you have one. And Sabrina, can you take a screenshot so that we have pictures of people starting to meditate, holding their lighted candles? And if you guys, Emily and Gurkim, if you have a candle, you'd like to share the picture of yourself with it, turn on your camera, please. Okay, let's start meditating by focusing on the light of the candle. A light that continues and continues and is a living thing. You can put it down when it feels comfortable to. So I invite you to now relax into your seat. Mother Earth will hold you faithfully, so you can trust and relax, knowing that you're held by all of creation. Slow your breathing and focus your mind on how it feels to breathe. Notice the air entering and then leaving your nostrils. It's cooler when you breathe it in than when you exhale it. That's reality. Just be mindful of it as you breathe in and out. Feel it. Also feel your abdomen rising and falling as you breathe in and out. In breathing, we are one with all creatures, even noisy little furry ones. Feel your abdomen, feel your muscles relaxing as you breathe slowly and freely. Feel your abdomen, your thighs, your legs, your feet. Breathing slowly and mindfully relaxes muscles. It's a physical law. In your relaxed state, as you continue to breathe slowly, comfortably, and deeply, think of an experience. Might be recent, might be long ago, of a time when you felt someone was being unfair to you, was judging you unfairly, was being unfairly unkind. You probably felt hurt, feel that. As you continue to breathe steadily, ask yourself how that judgment, that wrongful judgment of you, has affected you physically, has affected your physical body. You're probably not worse off in your body if someone, has treated you unfairly, but not brutally. You know what your abilities were and still are. And I invite you, as you continue your regular, slow, deep breathing, to focus on the good things that you know deeply about yourself. Review for yourself some of the strengths and gifts you know you have, including strength you take from your family and your ancestors, beauty and love you know from your spiritual awareness, courage you have demonstrated in dealing with physical illness and injuries, ways of loving and helping that you have shown in situations where others have been in trouble. Generosity that you have shared to help others overcome problems. Does the person who seemed to reject you know these gifts you have given to others? If they don't know all the ways you have reached out beyond your own interests to make life better for others in large and small ways, what value do their judgments of you possess? They don't know you. What could have been going on within them to prompt them to think only of their own unhappiness in the moment where they judged you, where they rejected you? Would it be something that you too have experienced that has made you less loving for a moment or two? Can you understand how someone can fail to know someone else, to observe them, to get them? Can you forgive yourself for having sometimes reacted negatively to similar stress? If so, can you begin to forgive the person who rejected you? Can you understand that for some reason they have not been able to appreciate you fully? Continuing to breathe deeply, feel your strength as a loving, concerned human being. Know that most of the people who share your life appreciate your energy and love your attention. In witnessing their lives, you strengthen and support them. In noticing what they feel, say, and do, you affirm their importance. They build their everyday courage and love on the foundation of your loving energy in their lives. You make them feel worthwhile and important. When you are able to breathe deeply and relax and smile, you help them too to become aware of what is good and beautiful in their lives. I invite you to pivot your thinking from the hurt you felt when you felt rejected, because you assumed that the person who hurt you knew they were hurting you. If you asked that person at that moment why they said or did what made you feel rejected, you would learn they were not even aware of you. They were thinking of something hurtful, hurting them, that had nothing to do with you. They were thinking of their own pain. When you change your story in this way, feel your empathy for the hurt the other person was feeling in themselves when they spoke or acted in a way that made you feel rejected. And I invite you to be in this awareness, to reflect on it, to let it evolve within you. This awareness, this compassion about other people acting from their pain for a couple of minutes. Remember your own inner goodness and love that defines you. And I invite you to extend it with your empathy to the person you feel hurt you. Be the good person you know yourself to be. Follow the inner love you feel for yourself and for others who suffer what you have suffered. It helps no one to insist on vengeance and retaliation for personal hurts. It especially doesn't help you. You will suffer from the hatred you generate toward others. They won't. Eventually, if you pay attention, you will learn that what action or speech hurt you was not about you. The person doing that act was thinking only of himself or herself, not you. This is always true in the end. If you make it a point to ask people in the moment that you think are rejecting you, why they said or did what they did, that's what you'll learn. It was about them, not about you. So now, gently bring your attention back to your body. Feel your muscles move, especially your fingers and toes. Open your eyes when it feels comfortable. I invite you, as you come back into awareness of our group, to look around and smile at each person who has shared this meditative experience with you. The meditation will be posted on YouTube, so you can come back and listen to it whenever you want to regain your inner peace and confidence after an experience of what seems to be rejection or judgment of you. Just remember, whenever we humans become hurtful, we're wrapped up in thinking about our own hurts, not the goodness of those around us. And when someone else chooses to wrap up in their own hurts, we don't need to let them damage our inner peace. Instead, we can understand that they have forgotten to love in this moment or in a lot of moments. And we can empathize with the pain that they are feeling in their self-involved state. And so it is. Would anyone like to share any thoughts or comments or feelings?
Thank you. I wanted to say, first of all, Rosemary, that was a beautiful meditation. And during that meditation, I totally forgot about feeling any feelings of rejection that, and I thought about a situation. And I knew that that person wasn't really rejecting me, but I had those feelings. And what I needed to have the feelings of self-acceptance rather than thinking about what that other person's thinking. You know, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? And initially it was rejection. And but that helped to really clarify that it's not about it's not about me, actually. It's about what they're doing, what they're in the process of. And I understand that. And I think I did before, but I didn't understand it deep enough. So thank you for the meditation.
You're welcome. I'm glad that for you, it apparently hit home.
It did.
Because that's what I've discovered, certainly, about any time, going way back into my infancy, when I felt rejected. You know, the person who was doing and saying whatever they were doing wasn't even thinking about me at that moment. And I've learned later, as I have in fact done what I suggested you do, and asked people, why did you say that? And what I have found out every single time was that it wasn't about me at all. They weren't even aware of me at that moment when I was feeling like, oh gosh, why did you do that to me? They were always thinking about what was going on inside themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so my injury was my injury. I created it. I made it up. Always.
Mm-hmm.
So you do that enough, you begin to think, well, okay, I think I get the picture here. Why am I doing this to myself? Because I think everybody's thinking about me and I'm wrong. Very wrong. How can they not be thinking about me? I mean, geez. I'm thinking about me. So that's been a good lesson to me.
Yeah, and I don't think you can ever learn these lessons enough. They always come back to think again. Think
Yeah, what's
to be
true?
part of the process. Yeah.
What's true about me?
Mhm.
And it's true about everybody else too. We're all one, and our feelings unify us. So whatever anybody feels, we can all feel it. And there are undoubtedly other ways to get over the sense of being rejected, but that one works for me. Any other? Thank you, Karen, for sharing. Any other thoughts or feelings?
I would like to thank you, Rosemary, first of all, for this moment where someone goes back to some experiences of in his life where he has to deal with this rejection. But I think that for me, it's because the way we think afterwards is different from the way we think at this moment. So like, for me, as Karen said, like I understand now that about those times when it happened, but I am always afraid if it happens again, how to deal with it at this moment when it happens. I don't know if you can tell me something about it, but I know that the meditation is finished, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. And really, it was helpful. But at the moment when it is happening, like it hurts.
Yeah, it does hurt. But what hurts is the story that we're making up.
Mhm. In
right?
your head.
In our head, we're thinking, oh, why did he say that to me? I don't deserve that. That's awful. And we feel injured. But he wasn't saying it to he or she or it or whatever. They were always thinking of themselves, not about somebody else. So what's true is always true. And the more times actually we go into that awareness and practice it, the more likely it is that the next time somebody says something that we might interpret as injurious, we're going to be aware. Now, wait a minute. What was going on inside that person at that moment? What were they thinking of? And it wasn't me. They were hurting. They were in pain.
Yeah. Yeah, that was true for me. Mine was my example had to do with my sister. And I found out what all she was going through, planning maybe a possible surgery. Her house was falling apart. And she would say, I'm too busy. Well, she was too busy.
Right.
And then we did talk, we talked, but
Yep. And the big lesson for me was my mother was really, you could say, abusive to me when I was a baby, when I was a small child. And I hated her for a long time, because I didn't deserve that. That wasn't fair. she was, you know, she was treating me badly. And I hadn't done anything to deserve that. And it made me really mad with her. It was after she died that, as a result of getting to know people struggling with alcoholism and realizing what a desperate, terrible struggle that can be, and how alcoholic people who are drunk injure their families. I realized how my mother's very alcoholic grandfather or father, who her mother kicked out of the house after a while, had injured her and had affected her perceptions of what life was like and what to expect. And she was not, she literally did not understand what an infant or a small child might need or might be experiencing. She was suffering, and it was all about her. And it was all about, why wasn't I being, doing everything 2 months ahead of everybody, every other child that ever lived, so that she could feel better? It was all about her. And when I realized that, that's what I realized was, oh my God, she was in terrible pain. And A, it wasn't about me, and B, she wasn't capable, given that pain, of also being loving. She was not able to think about what anyone else needed, which, that was her life. Wow. But it also gave me the realization that she didn't intend to hurt me. She didn't realize she was doing it. And I couldn't hold it against her because she wasn't doing what I felt she was doing to me. That was a very deep moment for me. And I was well into my 60s when I had that moment. It came like that. It was because of the fact that I had participated in Al-Anon and in adult children of alcoholics, and because I knew I had very close people who were sober alcoholics and were also participating in those programs. It gave me compassion that was liberating. So that was where I understood that, yeah, we can be very, very hurt by other people, and the other people are totally unconscious. And it's really our business to have to know what is good about us and to believe it and to hold to that awareness and live it. It's our business to take care of our own self-awareness, not anybody else's. Yep, when you're a child, it is the parents. And lots of times they are not aware. And you don't know enough yet to protect yourself. And so many, many people get injured when they are children. But as we grow up, we can begin to become more aware of how people see us. And any time that you have ever been to a memorial service or a celebration of life, I don't care how awful that person was much of the time, there will be people there who recognize love somehow, always. It's really amazing. And that love is true. That really is the essence of the person. And it's true of us with everyone that is in our life. They feel the goodness in us. And so when we are not with them anymore, they will feel that that goodness is gone. They will grieve. I think that's the moment of truth. When people realize, oh, really, I'm going to miss that old buzzard. Or, whoever the person is, I'm going to miss them. Has that been true for you? When people that you know have transitioned, have left the body? Have you had that experience yet? Yeah, you have. I know. Sabrina, your friend Sally, that's what everybody felt, right?
Yeah.
Was, oh, we miss the goodness. That is always true. Doesn't matter, how nice the person was. We always miss the powerful goodness that is the essence of each person.
Yeah.
So knowing that helps us to realize, okay, whatever they're thinking right now about me, it's not true. Knowing our truth is important in deciding, after we feel the feelings, figuring out, okay, am I gonna make these feelings last forever, or, are they true? Usually they're not. Usually we learn to find what is good and stay with that. And even when we're grieving somebody really deeply, what we end up finding is that love goes on, that their love hasn't left, really, as we talked about in the meditation last week. Love is eternal. It's always with us. And yeah, we feel bad. We feel sad. We feel there's a hole. And also, there's love. And so where are we going to pay our attention? That's always a decision we have to keep making. Where am I going to put my attention? And where we choose to put our attention, that's what we experience ongoing. We create our experience in this way. I don't know if that was helpful or not, Sabrina, was it?
Yes, it was.
Okay, any other comments, feelings? Emily Gerken? Okay. I thank you all very much
Thank
for
you.
participating in this meditation experience and in sharing the light that you are with others across the world, because we have been putting energy of love into the experience, the vibrations, the awareness. And that's what we need to do. That's what we can do to make the world a better place. We can come together, we can reflect together, and we can love together.